Let's discuss with Matthew Whitaker, former acting U.S. Attorney General under President Trump. Mr. Whitaker, glad to see you. Merry Christmas, sir. Before I ask you about the bipartisan betrayers who are assisting in the breaking of U.S. law, let's talk about their effort to stop President Trump, who wants to uphold law. We're actually learning the group behind the effort to remove Trump from the ballot was led by a group of so-called Republican voters, and many are even asking how the hell they even had standing in this. I asked Congressman Guy Reschenthaler about this earlier today on Newsmax 2. Listen.
We refuse to engage on their level, and they are beating us. We have got to take that. We have got to fight the way the Democrats fight, or else we won't be around to fight anymore, Chris.
Now, he also blasted old school Republicans and said the party now depends on young leaders like him to oppose the anti-constitutional efforts of the Democrats. How crucial is it that our government be purged of these people who no longer feel bound by our Constitution?
Yeah, there's so many things we could cover today, Chris, but I think the overall thread is the erosion of the rule of law, whether you're talking about what's happening every day now on our southern border, where record high numbers of illegal immigrants and people that are filing fraudulent asylum claims are entering our country and staying for up to a decade now based on where the hearings are being set, or whether you talk about this Colorado Supreme Court not following the rule of law. Remember, I think simply put, this Colorado case took a sort of a duty of the Secretary of State and had a week-long slapdash hearing where Donald Trump wasn't allowed to call witnesses, subpoena witnesses, no discovery was allowed. And then based on that 1 week hearing, they determined that he was an insurrectionist and therefore ineligible under the 14th Amendment, Section 3, and then determined ineligible to be on the ballot in Colorado. It's a complete farce and a complete ignoring of the rule of law and what actually these judges should be doing. And remember, this is keeping a presidential candidate, a former president of the United States, off the ballot by a 4-3 vote of Democrats. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know. And what happens when the next Supreme Court in some other state determines that actually this Article 14, Section 3 doesn't apply to Donald Trump? I mean, we're going to have chaos, and the American people rightly should be shaking their head, just wondering, where are the statesmen? Where are the stateswomen? Where are conservatives, to your point? Where is this next generation? It seems like all we have is a bunch of, baby boomers that oftentimes don't want to exit their political cushy roles. And so this is what you end up with. But, there's so much going on right now, Chris. I'm sure the American people are so frustrated. I talk to them every day as I travel this country, and they just want the rule of law to be appreciated.
Yeah, and as you know, this is how Democrats save democracy, by taking away people's choices at the ballot box. Or denying the vote in their own primaries. That's how they do it. Speaking of harming our nation, the borders, as you mentioned earlier, wide open, 12,600 illegal aliens intercepted between Monday and Tuesday alone. Governor Greg Abbott is doing what he can, making it a state crime to illegally cross the border into Texas and forcing Democrat-run cities to share in some of the pain. But after 9 million illegal aliens on top of the estimated 30 million who were already here, isn't it curious how the GOP can't even muster any unified opposition to all of this?
Yeah, it is. And you remember, we are the most generous country in the world. We admit over 1 million people legally per year. And, this chaos at the border is completely killing that. And I'm just wondering, is there any way to fix this? Donald Trump says that he will round up these people that are here illegally and make sure that they are deported, restore ICE to their role. But I mean, the numbers are staggering, to your point. I mean, if we're at 30 or 40 million people now here illegally, that's bigger than the federal government or any ICE agent can handle. And so ultimately, we're going to have to do the hard work of restoring the policies we had in place in the Trump administration, whether that's remain in Mexico or other policies that worked, that had this under control.